Hey everybody, PC Outcast here, back with another episode of Everlasting Summer, and we are going to attempt to get Slavya's bad endings. We need to get at least 6, but I'll grab 7 positive things on her route, and then after that we won't do anything really. So we'll start out with reply. That actually gives us 1 point towards our relationship with Slavya. And then I don't think the rest of today actually matters. Might as well take the keys. Don't worry about the book. And we're on to day 2. I don't think the order of these things matters. I'm pretty sure you have to go to all of them. Yeah. So we're going to go get the cards with Slavya. That's number 2. And we are not going to bet with her. We'll lose against Yulana. I believe that gives us... whatever actually give us anything. 1, 2... No, just lose the competition. That's fine. And now go to the bus stop. That's 3. So then we get the scene with Slavya dancing. Fine. We're not going to help Lena. Continue looking for answers. Help Slavya. This is number... no, this should be number 4. We did the reply, get cards with Slavya, and go to the bus stop. And now help Slavya. So yeah, this is number 4. Run away, believe it or not, is number 5. We end up on top of Slavya. And we get the dance scene and the really, really beautiful scene there. And then we see her naked. And it's day 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to go to Olga's house. Second choice doesn't matter. Whatever. Poisoned. Now, but don't ask about the bundle. That is another positive one, so that's 6. Don't go for the carbon. Don't eat the apple. And searching for Shirik with Slavya should be number 7. The direction we go does not matter. I don't think what we choose here matters. We're in day 5. I just have to not collect strawberries with her. Go with Lena. And I did my best. And I don't think any of this matters either. Snatch the book away. Okay, we're leading up to the hike. I'm just going to stay seated. And I'm going to go and find Slavya. Now this should not increase my standing with her, but it will activate her route, I believe. Oh yeah, okay. So we had all this. Day 6. Okay, so I'm not going to say I'm going to get something with Slavya because that would increase my relationship with her. So I'm hungry. Oh, really? And I have nothing to justify. We have no reason to justify ourselves. I replied obnoxiously. Oh, really? Okay, then. So you think all of this is normal? Fine. She paused for a few moments and turned to Slavya. Day 7. Okay, so we're doing... Oh! Look, I still don't understand. What? Asked Slavya without turning. Why don't you want... How did you expect it to be? Well, I can find a job, rent an apartment. And what can you do? Do you at least have a school leaving certificate? In fact, yes. It's lying somewhere in the closet. It's not important here. Why not? If you have a goal, you can overcome any obstacles. Moreover, they're not that big. That's what you think. Maybe you're right. But anyway, I can't understand your reaction. After all, if we just leave, that's all. That's the end. I didn't say that. But it's obvious. Where did you get that idea from? She shouted. Perhaps it was the first time I had seen Slavya like this. Well, let me put it differently. I don't want to go back to the place where I live, and to communicate with you only by letters or phone, hoping for a chance to meet. It'll be hard for me too. Well, what's the problem then? You know, not everything's up to us. Who's it up to then? Although no one would know how right she is better than I. If it was all up to me, I would never found myself here. There are norms in society, laws, morality, ethics, after all. What do those have to do with anything? Are all those that important? If they are not important to you, they are important to me. Okay. I'm even ready to behave according to your standards, but there's something more important. Maybe, but I can't so suddenly. You don't have much time to think. I paused for a moment to gather my thoughts. I can only offer myself, because it's the only thing I've got. Moreover, I don't know what might happen to me in an hour, but I'm sure that whatever happens, if I have to start from scratch, I want to start with you. You're speaking so beautifully, but imagine how I feel. For you, it's all so simple, but I have my own life that I'm used to, and to change everything just like that. I had one before too, I said softly. What? I'm saying that it's inevitable. Changes are part of life. You cannot live without facing them. Slavya looked thoughtful, stood still for some time holding her bag in her hands, then came up to me, sat beside, and put her head on my shoulder. Okay, I believe you. If you say so, then let it be. At that moment, I felt perfect happiness. Doesn't matter that a week ago I was in a completely different world living another life. All of that is gone, and now it seemed to me like something wild or alien. I don't even understand how I could consider that normal. Now I'm less concerned about how and by whose will all this happened. Now I'm not looking for answers. Why would I when they're all right here in front of me? Now I have a long road ahead, hand in hand with the person I love, and looking back makes no sense. I could sit here forever, not noticing the time, but Slavya finally looked at the clock and gently whispered in my ear, "It's time." Yes, exactly. You go to the bus stop, and I'll run to the camp leader's cabin to get my things. You're so disorganized. You You should have gathered them in advance, laughed Slavya. I don't have much to pack anyway. I leapt out of the house and ran towards Olga's cabin. The camp leader stood on the threshold, apparently waiting for me. I thought you wouldn't come. I didn't reply, just bounded inside, packed my winter clothes into a bag, and ran out. Come on already, it's time. In a minute, we stood at the bus stop together with the other pioneers. Everyone's here? Began Olga. You're leaving our camp today, and I'd like to tell you something in parting. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time you've spent here for a lifetime, and that you'll retain only pleasant memories about Slavyanok. I wonder why this keeps replaying. You can't skip her speech, and it's always the same. I also hope that you became at least a little bit better, managed to learn something, and found new friends. Just come back next year. Camp leader turned away. It seems she was trying to hold back her tears. I didn't expect her to get so emotional, but I completely agreed with everything she said. Oh, this time he doesn't think she's talking nonsense. Perhaps it was the first time that I didn't turn a deaf ear to her. I think I'll miss this camp, and even Olga. Although, if this is the start of a new life, then why not come back here one more time? Slavyanok was far behind. The week had passed like an instant and came to an end, but that was the beginning of something new, my new life in a new world, together with Slavya. The moon was shining, making everything as bright as day. Beyond the bus windows, endless fields were passing, on occasion dressed up in gray but no less cheerful outfits, decorated in the distance with the dark green of the mighty forests. Anyway, the surroundings were the least of my concerns now. I was enjoying the moment. Slavya and I were sitting in the last row, looking at the other pioneers. Ahead, Yelena was going wild. She was running through the cabin and shouting. Lena was reading a book and Alyssa was sleeping. Seems like this world is absolutely normal. It doesn't really matter how I got here. If everything turned out so wonderfully, I became a different person. I met Slavya. What are you thinking about? Life. And how's it going? Just great. She laughed softly. You know, let it wait a little. The bus is rocking me to sleep. I will take a nap if you don't mind. Sure, go ahead. She rested her head on my shoulder and soon fell asleep. Ah, the perfect situation. It's just all perfect and so wonderful. How's it gonna all turn bad? The imminent arrival at the district center and a new chapter in my life didn't worry me at all. When you're on top of the world, small things don't bother you. Therefore, I fell asleep as soon as I felt tired, with no fear of anything. There are dreams that you don't want to wake up from. It's like one's floating down a warm river towards a place far beyond the horizon, blissfully watching the vain world hidden behind the clouds. The past is left behind, it echoes. Oh, we already read all this stuff. Will my carriage turn into a pumpkin in a few moments? Maybe the return from Slavyanok is the end of my own version of the Cinderella tale. Even so, is it really a bad end? Why, any tale contains at least a bit of truth. I remembered Slavya, stood up, shook off the snow, and went slowly into the night. I felt no sorrow, had no regrets. Maybe all this is just another episode of that tale, that warming dream, which I wanted so much to continue. Why can't it repeat if it happened once already? And what if I met Slavya in reality? Sorry, knock at the door. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, a prologue, and an epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, would not reveal new details you didn't notice before. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. And that's it? That's how it ends? What a weird ending. That was even more meh than her good ending. I was expecting her to be a complete psycho. Like, try and kill me or something, but no. Well, thanks for joining me. I guess that is the end of Slavya's bad ending. I think. Did I actually get the... Oh, I can't skip this or anything. Not sure if I actually got the bad end. I think so. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you in the next episode.